If you attract dramatic people into your life where there's always things going on, there's always such a big response to things that happen. They're always calling you to let you know about the things that are happening. You feel this rush of energy, but at the same time, you feel energetically drained. This is someone that when they talk to you, they may say something that just sticks with you for many days. It may be somebody that just always has crazy things happen in their life that you have somehow subconsciously normalized and tolerated for a long period of time. Now, the thing is, keeping this dramatic energy in your life is blocking out intimate, deeper connections. Sometimes drama feels like excitement. And if in childhood there was chaotic energy, it may feel normal to have this very exciting energy around you. But at the same time, this exciting energy is draining energetically, and by being around that energy, it is attracting more drama into your life. If you have people in your life where there's always drama happening, you're perceiving of drama, you're energetically either trying to shield yourself from drama or you're feeling the drama they're talking about, it's going in your energetic field. And then you're going out into the world and you're interacting with drama in your energy field. You're attracting people into your life to reflect that energy back. You're more triggered because when you're around someone that is triggered, it's triggering you. So in this video, what I want to do is show you how to shed the energy of the drama once and for all, how not to feel guilty about it, and how, as a response to that, you will then attract more intimacy and deeper connections that actually regulate your nervous system. Now, in my own life, I've gone through times where I realize I have been tolerating a certain energy for a long period of time, and I'm asking myself, why have I done this? Why did I allow someone in my life for maybe a year or two or more that was extremely dramatic? Things were always going on, and it would be long periods of time where I could feel, just from being in relation to this person, there was a leaky energy. There was leaky energy and this leaky, just this draining energy that would constantly be pulling me to it. And what I realized was that in childhood, there was a very familiar energy where there was a lot of drama in childhood. There was a lot of chaotic energy. And there was also a lot of having to be naive about the control and the manipulation when I was a kid in order to survive. Having a controlling, narcissistic ex-stepmom from 7 to 17, I had to be not naive, like I was aware of what was happening, but I had normalized it. It was like normal for me to have somebody that was controlling around me. And whether that's someone that's covert or overt, it was still a manipulative energy that was familiar to childhood. So what happens is once I became aware of this dynamic, the thing that was keeping me in it was a feeling of feeling guilty, feeling like I'm being mean by cutting them out. But by avoiding being mean by cutting them out, I was being mean to my own inner child and being mean to myself. In essence, I was abandoning myself to make other people happy, abandoning myself to ease someone else's energy, leaving me feeling abandoned myself. And what happens is when you wake up to this energy that's out of alignment, what you need to realize is that you're waking up now for you to become aware of it and for you to let it go. Now on the planet, I think too, there's a wave of this happening where a lot of the shadow of what's been subconsciously hidden is coming to the surface. And we now have the opportunity to look at this and to let it go. And we're becoming aware of do I want to remain in relation with people that are energetically draining? Now, there's a couple quick things I want to also point out about this that's very important to understand. And the first is that there may be a story here that people are manipulative, people can't be trusted, or that I'm responsible for other people's emotions subconsciously. But what happens is that story is keeping them in your life. That story is keeping you feel guilty. Now, guilt is an emotion of control. Guilt is where you say your emotions are more important than my emotions. And what you need to start realizing is you need to put the energy back in yourself. Put the energy back in your own frame of reality. Stop abandoning yourself and realize that as you do that, you start bringing your power back. You, in a way, pass the test. Because ultimately, people are in our lives for a reason. Someone told me once, they said, people are in your life for either a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And what's interesting about this is a lot of times, someone will be in your life for a season and a reason. And maybe that reason is to help you learn to set boundaries, was to learn to help you to say no, was to help you to have the courage to cut ties. And in an interesting way, what I can recognize is as I've had to do this over the last couple years in a few different ways, I can tell that there's this almost nervous system ramp up of having to stand up to the energy to say, hey, and have the conversation and be like, this doesn't work for me anymore. I wish you the best, blah, blah, blah. There's almost like an echo from the past of, because in a weird way, I never really got closure with my ex-stepmom. My dad divorced her when I was 17 years old. I had freedom. I was allowed to have friends, allowed to have enough food to eat. I didn't have to earn going to school activities. I was allowed to watch TV all of a sudden. Whole new world. Anxiety came with that. But I just never pretty much saw my ex-stepmom again. I'd hear things that she would say about me or my brother and my sisters. That's their real mom. So in certain ways, I kind of hear about things, but never had to really see her again except for at one situation for a moment. However, I never actually got to express, like, this is how I feel. Hey, this wasn't cool. I mean, a kid, of course, that was the ex-stepmom, so you can't say, oh, I don't want you in my life anymore, I'm walking out. I, at certain points, considered running away, but where would I have gone? I wasn't in contact with my real mom at the time because I was, in a way, brainwashed to not, every time I'd go see my real mom, when I was like 7 or 8, I'd get in a lot of trouble, so eventually cut contact with my real mom up until I turned 17, then I reconnected with my real mom. But nonetheless, there was this, around drama, it was almost like the lesson around the drama was to stand up to it and to say no more of it. And I never got that closure with my ex-stepmom, and I can tell that a few people in my life over the last couple of years, there's been less of a version of it. It's almost like it's a nicer, not nicer, but like less intense version of it as time goes on. But it's still an unconscious energy that as I become aware of, I'm like, wait, here's that energy again. My breakthrough is to actually express how I feel, to cut it off and to say, no, I'm not engaging with this energy. And every time, the only thing that would keep me in it for so long was a certain form of guilt. And as I become aware of that guilt is making someone else's emotions more important than my emotions, it's a form of control, I started to question that guilt. And to realize I could feel it to heal it, but also I could let that emotion, I could let that energy go and realize it doesn't have to control me any longer. Now, when you're standing up to somebody that may be reflective of something from the past, understand the lesson there is for you to be in your own frame of reality, for you to feel safe in your own body. There will still be emotions there, even when I've had certain conversations over the last couple of years of like letting go of this energy in a couple different conversations. There's this interesting energy comes up. I'm like, why does this affect me so much? But then I feel it, and I do it anyways. And then I feel this huge release afterwards. I feel this huge relief. No longer in the side. It's almost like there was this bandwidth in the side of my mind that was just always being used, and now it's just completely gone, allowing me to feel way more emotionally free. Now, what's interesting is if you look at why some of this energy was there in the first place, part of it may be because as a kid, there was a survival mechanism to please a parent. Who do I need to be validated and approved of? Who do I need to be to feel quote-unquote safe? And what you do is, as you realize this, you then are in a pattern of like making people feel safe, easing their tension. But interestingly enough, once you start becoming aware that you've just been tolerating something for so long, you then start to wake up to it and you start to say, I don't need to tolerate this any longer. Other people, have you ever, like, there's certain people, the people that I'm talking about, by the way, are people that also, they normally don't have friends for too long. It's like they have to switch friends group every so often. And I see that now, and I'm like, wow, no wonder. Because eventually people start to see it. People start to become aware of it. And if you're around someone that's controlling, someone that guilt trips you, or someone that's full of drama, something sometimes that people do is something called DARVO. I'll share this because I think it's valuable. It's DARVO, which is deny, attack, reverse, victim to offender. I've now had 2 or 3 different people that use this tactic when you start to set boundaries or you express something or you cut them out. They deny whatever you're saying. They attack and say, you're doing this. And then they reverse victim to offender where it's like, no, I'm the victim. I'm not the offender. I'm the victim. Whether it's covert or overt. The person is like covertly trying to manipulate to get their needs met or overt and just aggressive. Either way, DARVO, it's crazy when you start to see this. You're like, whoa. But then you're not swayed by it because you're aware that it's just a mechanism that these people are doing that they're not aware of. Now, let me also say this. In a lot of videos, it can paint like you're a victim who's coming into your power, and these people are all mean persecutors. They're all meanies. Understand that these people are just trying to have their own needs met. Because a big part of this process is forgiveness. It's forgiving them, for they know not what they do. They're just trying to get their needs met. Now, the reason I say this is because if you hold on into the charge of your energy field that they're the persecutors, they're the villains, you will keep the villain energy and the blame energy in your energy field, and you will attract more people in your future to play that dynamic out with you. So having forgiveness and realizing they're doing the best that they can. That's just a survival mechanism they learned to not take accountability. So deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm just saying you understand it. You let the energy go. That may be your big breakthrough, is to just cut it out. Now, forgiving, though, is another important part of the process that sometimes people overlook. And they're so quick just to blame, right? They're doing this, they're doing that. And one thing I've learned is had to have more compassion. Even this recently, I had to cut off somebody for the thing I'm talking about right now. And there was this wave of compassion that came over me where I realized, you know what, I was going to go in like there was something that happened to where I could be kind of angry and assertive in a certain way, but I realized I know this energy within myself. I don't have to be overly reactive and to feed the drama. Instead, there's this compassion. And there was this energy of like clarity where I was like, I'm not going to be in contact with you anymore. I wish you the best. This is what I think you should look at. This is whatever. The person was actually open to everything I was saying and understood. And there'd be times you do it where they don't understand. I've had times before they just don't understand. They're still in denial and they're just doing that Darvo thing. But you're doing this for you. It's like, what if you set boundaries and they don't take it well? That's on them. It's not your responsibility to manage their emotions. So let this be a sign, if you're seeing this video right now, that maybe it's time to let go of drama in your life. And that by letting go of drama, you're saying no to this manipulative energy that's surface level. Drama keeps you on the surface. Maybe you feel trauma bonded and that feels deep, but that's not really deep. Deep is when you have a regulated nervous system. It's when you're able to co-regulate with other people that can see you, hear you, and connect with you at a deeper level. And one of the most powerful ways to do that I found is something called breath work. I got certified in a process called somatic release breath work. Completely transformed my life. It allowed me to breathe up and the emotions in my body that were stored, that I released. It was like everything in my life began to change as I started doing that breath work. You just do a couple ceremonies too. It's not something you do like every week. You can just do it once or twice and feel a huge difference. I got certified in this process and I have a free breathwork ceremony. It's an hour and a half long. It's completely free. If you want to go through it, you can. It's in my High Vibe Tribe, which is also free. And you can just click the link below and I'll go and link the breath. It's inside my High Vibe Tribe under the breathwork section. It's music, everything. You only do it once. Don't do it like 3 times in a week though. But you'll release energy and start to feel way more free, start to co-regulate your own energy, and then realize maybe relationships with people that appear to be more boring are actually more healthy. It's just not crazy dramatic and really, really highs and really, really lows. Maybe what boring actually is regulated. You can actually connect in with and sink in at a deeper level. Sometimes people will be dating someone and like, this person's, I don't feel it, I don't feel that crazy high dopamine rush. Maybe that's a good thing. But in order to allow this to happen, you have to say no to this. So the main part of this video is just saying no to that energy. It's cleaning it out of your life, not engaging with the drama, not reacting to the drama. And then also seeing, hearing, soothing, and nurturing your own inner child that feels afraid because it's so used to the drama. That part of your inner child, that part of your subconscious is in fear and has normalized and tolerated the drama for so long because it doesn't want to be abandoned. So in the High Vibe 101, my free $1,000 course for free, that's also in High Vibe Tribe. You can also check it out there to go deeper. And if you want to learn more about Ho'oponopono, one of the most powerful processes I've ever found for clearing out the energy field, watch this video right here and watch how much your life shifts. By far, the most powerful healing modality I've ever found